Hey, love bugs. What's up, everybody? I hope you're having a good morning, noon, night, whenever this video may reach you. Do your girl a favor and hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you can get that thing whenever I upload a new video. So today, we are going to be reviewing a recent sit down that Dr. Umar did talking about, women with the plastic surgery and the BBLs. And we're going to get into Summer Walker because she out here hotting and dotting and bopping and trotting in the streets with her girl crew. She's trying to get over that breakup. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And roll call. Hey, Majestic Queen. Hey, Sasha. Hey, Lola Bunny. Hey, Aqua. Rachel, what's up? How y'all doing? Come on over. Come on over, love bugs. Come on over. Come on over, baby. Yes. I hope everybody is having a great day. It's beautiful out. Thanks, S. Mays. Thank you. So we're going to head on over to these YouTube streets so that we can take a look at, what Dr. Umar had to say about the ladies, the biddies with the BBLs. He always talking. And even sometimes a broke clock is right twice a day. I'm not the biggest Dr. Umar advocate or fan. However, sometimes, he be talking that talk. And I'm like, okay, like, what he trying to do? He's trying to is he putting on a cape? Is he what he trying to do? So let's check this out. Shouts out to I Never Knew TV, Fair Use. Dr. Umar, men and women who wear weaves and get cosmetic surgery are not at peace with themselves.
Who are a part of this epidemic of cosmetic surgery. A lot of times people, the big thing is the BBL, right? But we approach it from a more humorous standpoint. Ha, ha, ha. There's nothing funny about it. When I see people with weaves, when I see people with the silicone and the BBLs, I see inner turmoil.
Of course.
I see a lot of struggle where you are so displeased with yourself that you put yourself through the surgery.
Of course.
There's nothing to be joked about. I think we joke about it too much and we criticize it too much from a comedy standpoint. And we don't see the psychological impact or the psychological turmoil, spiritual turmoil person's experiencing to do these things to themselves.
I would say, as I've often said, that people who are not at peace with themselves will often try to reinvent themselves from the outside in. You can't reinvent yourself from the outside in. You have to reinvent yourself from the inside out. All this surgery, cosmetic surgery, men and women, all this wig and weave and European hair color, all of this are signs that the person wasting all this money on trying to look like a different person is not at peace with themselves. They are not happy.
To a degree, I agree. You're not at peace with yourself if you are going under a knife for one of the most invasive and potentially life-threatening procedures, just all for the sake of vanity. And of course the hair extensions. Y'all know I love me some wigs. Well, this one in particular because I keep wearing it. We're going to be selling them soon. I get that. I think that there's a difference. We got to draw a line in the sand where it comes to enhancing your natural beauty and literally just augmenting and completely changing yourself. There's women that literally we're going to get into Summer Walker. Summer Walker was so cute to me. She did her nose 2 times. She got her body augmented. It looks weird, and then, we also lately, we've been talking about people just completely transitioning. And I do believe that this stems from inner turmoil. And I know women that want to get BBLs and they say, oh, it has nothing to do with a man. It doesn't mean that I'm insecure. Yes, you are. You want to risk your life laying on the table to get this surgery. You are, that is some level of insecurity there. You don't feel good about how you look naturally. And if you don't work on the internal, then he's about to say it goes into you turn out to be like the Claremont twins. They're constantly seeing something that needs to be fixed because they're not fixing the actual root of the problem, which is the inner world.
People, you can't be. Happy people are not overly preoccupied with how they appear to others. That is a mental illness, to be that preoccupied with your physical appearance that everything else in your life takes a back seat. And my biggest concern for my sisters, and I love all of them, you know, whether they are artificial or real. Let me clarify that. I love them if they are getting surgery, not if they're changing their gender. I got an issue with the whole childhood transgender movement, but just sisters who are getting surgery to look more womanly. My concern for them is when they become elders, when you get older, you got artificial breasts, you got artificial buttocks. What is going to happen when you're 70 years old? What happens to those breasts when they get heavy and saggy? What happens to those buttocks?
Yo, I think about this too, because, you know, all of this surgery and all of this is this is new age. We really don't know how it ages. And Storm always talks about Wendy Williams needing to remove her breast implants. And that is the first person that popped into my mind when I hear this is Wendy Williams. She has so many health complications that we know of. You know, she has a lot of ailments. And it just makes me wonder, like, is it because of the implants? You know, and I saw a video. I wish I had it in the queue. I'll find it. And, you know, when we come back, because I'm going to always come back and do my show for y'all, my love bugs. It showed tissue that was so hard around, like the breast tissue, how it hardened around an implant over time. And when your body notices like foreign objects, it begins to attack essentially itself, you know? And when your body's attacking itself, you get an over clump of cells. It starts to calcify. All sorts of things happen because it's trying to isolate what it deems to be the problem, which is the foreign objects, hence the implants, you know? So I know that has to have a bearing on your health. And then there's also cases of women whose implants pop and leak. They don't talk about all of the downsides. We're just so stuck on vanity. And I'm vain, you know, I am. However, not to the point or not to the tune of, I feel like I need to augment myself. And I do know aesthetically, you know, I'm blessed. A lot of us are. So I'm not sitting up here saying if I didn't look this way, I wouldn't want to. However, I just don't know that it's worth risking your health, the quality of life, because a lot of women that also lay down and get these procedures done, they're literally hooked on a cocktail of pharmaceuticals. Whether you want to, it is what it is. Like, look at Cardi B. Cardi B's always complaining about constant migraines. And then you open yourself up also because, like I said, your body starts to attack itself because it's recognizing this as foreign entities. You open yourself up for autoimmune diseases. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So a lot of the girlies, you know, especially the melanin rich girlies, because this is more prevalent in us, you know, we get the not sickle cell. What is it? What is the other autoimmune? Dang, it's missing me. What's the other autoimmune? I gotta Google because now it's getting on my nerves. What's the autoimmune? Toni Braxton got it. Toni Braxton got it. What is it? Let me see if y'all saying it in the chat because it's missing me. Lupus, yes. Jeez Louise, it was missing me. Yes, lupus, yes. So if you notice, a lot of women that have cosmetic procedures, they have lupus. They do.
What happened to those packs inside your body when they begin to bust? I don't think our Black women are looking down the road long enough to life after their prime when they are still going to have these artificial objects in their body. Or are you going to get them surgically removed? Maybe they'll just get them surgically removed at that time, I guess. Is there any research that discusses how toxic fake breasts are after a certain amount of time? Is there any research that addresses how toxic the butt injections or the butt implants are after a certain amount of time? Do Black women even know whether these things are cancerous after a certain amount of time, as we now know the fake hair to be. I'm just concerned for the long-term health of Black women. And for those Black women who are carrying a child, how does that affect your ability to carry your child if you got a tummy tuck, if you got liposuction, if you got a part of your stomach taken out so you can only eat so much food so you don't get overweight again? What about the baby? If you got...
I agree with this. I think about things like that as well. And this is another reason why I say I would never even consider anything cosmetic, surgical wise, until after I have a child. I wouldn't even think twice about it. Like, I don't know. I don't like implants. I don't condemn anyone that has it, but I'm the girl that maybe would get like a lift. You know what I mean? Like, but implant, no, I don't like the way they look. Like, some look more natural, but just the thought of having something inside of me that could literally bust and leak out, like, that scares me. I have like hypochondriac tendencies. Y'all know I got anxiety. I got a lot going on. I wouldn't be able to, that would scare me.
Breast injections, can you still breastfeed? If you got breast implants, can you still breastfeed? I just think a lot of this artificial making over that Black women are engaging in, it's going to stop a lot of them from being effective mothers. And to be honest with you, as a mother with an...
You know what? I heard that too. He's like how the fake hair. I'm like, since when has fake hair been cancerous? I don't know. Maybe he knows something that we don't know. Because I don't know. Like, I haven't had a sew-in a long time. But you do know that the hair is treated with chemicals, like especially to dye and color. For me, I would say more than fake hair, I would say perms and a lot of the chemicals that we subjected our actual scalp to could have more of a bearing on our physical health. That's what I would say. I would say like the perms, the hair dyes. There was this woman that I saw on TikTok, and she literally used a box dye, and her whole face blew up like the Elephant Man. I'm talking like it was so scary. Like her eyes were swollen, like shut. Her head, it looked like she had tumors all over her face. And this is from her using a box dye. And this is another thing that I'm constantly trying to like reinforce that our genetic makeup, the way that we are, is different from Caucasian people. So a lot of the products and things that they can use without a hitch, we cannot. We have a lot of different things that we have to fight through health-wise because we live in a system that's designed for them, and we don't even realize it. Like, we be lethargic, we be fatigued, a lot of us have shortness of breath. It's just a lot going on with us health-wise because we are not living in a system designed for us to thrive. They even spraying stuff in the air and trying to block out the sun when we're literally powered by the sun. Make sure you get your vitamin D. We got to take our probiotics because our stomach is not as acidic as theirs. So we don't break down meat protein the same. We're just not the same. We literally need to be more like on an herbivore streak. Like, we need to be eating more fruits and vegetables and, juicing and constantly detoxing our lymph nodes and constantly detoxing our organs because the air, everything around us is designed against us.
Artificial body to a biological daughter, what is the message you are sending your daughter at 12 and 13 when she see mom comes home with new fake breasts, fake buttocks? Are you not teaching your daughter that what she has on her body sexually is more important than anything else she has?
I agree with this too, because when you do have children, and they see you augment yourself, it's sending a signal and a message that what you naturally have is not attractive, and I'm not a mom yet, but if I'm ever blessed with a daughter, if I ever have a child, my child is going to see me in my natural state more than anything else. And I'm going to constantly reaffirm, loving yourself. She's going to be a beautiful brown girl with kinky curly hair, it is just a thing. Someone said I should go natural. I am natural. My hair is very much natural. Underneath this, look at some of my old videos or look at my community posts. I post pictures of my natural hair. Like, it's natural. It was bright red and I had it short. It was like a shortcut. I want it to be red again. I'm not gonna lie, I missed that. But I am natural. I have not had a relaxer in my hair since probably like 2005, 14 or 15 or something like that. I haven't had a relaxer. So, you know, I definitely been woke. I don't drink the Kool-Aid like everybody else. So that's all I'm gonna say.
And to me, that's the message that Black girls are getting. How I look is far more important than who I am, what I think, and what I have to offer the world. I think it's a very dangerous message that's going out to men about Black women.
Well, what about the psychological?
Well, as far as the psychological impact of it, I believe the psychological damage is already done once you get on the table. I think the psychological issues are impacted even further by the fact that after a certain amount of time, a lot of these women are not even content with the new body they have because they don't understand how the mind works. If you are not at peace with yourself, it's because of something going on inside. You transform the outside, and after the honeymoon period of the new breasts and buttocks is over, you still back to not feeling good about yourself. So now you want to go back out and get some more surgery, i.e. Little Kim. And I'm not picking on my sister, Little Kim, but from what I understand from her history, she was psychologically.
I agree, because at the end of the day, it's body dysmorphia. It really is. When you look in the mirror and you feel like there's something wrong, when you don't feel like your insides match your outsides, it's body dysmorphia. And I'm not saying this to target a specific group of people, because women, by and large, are out here laying on the table. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I'm not here to shame or judge anybody for what their choices are. I just need people to like really be honest about why they're making these decisions and just understand, you know, how it could really affect you in the long term. Like, you have to have a contingency plan. Like, what if this doesn't work out? What if you need to have a leg amputated? Like, there's so many things that could go wrong, and you literally sign a waiver saying that your surgeon is not liable. So if you get in these surgeries on credit care and you can't even pay for it outright, if something goes wrong, what are you gonna do? You know, like, even celebrities now, they're reversing. They want to be more natural, becoming a little more slimmer. Like, that's more of the aesthetic now. Like, they're taking that out. They don't want to be super augmented, but the thing is, they have the money and they have the funds to do so. The average working class American woman or man or whomever can't necessarily afford to reverse procedures. You know, people are going into debt. They're putting their homes up. It's just a lot going on. A lot, y'all. I seen this, there was like a story a long time ago of like a couple that put their house up for collateral or something like that because they wanted to get their teeth done and they wanted to get plastic surgery. And it's just a lot.
Logically abused by her father. And I don't know her whole life, but I saw a documentary speaking to how Little Kim was psychologically abused by her father. And I believe that that played a big role in why she underwent so much surgery. Little Kim was beautiful. Little Kim didn't need any surgery. She was a drop dead gorgeous woman. She didn't need the surgery. But because of what was done to her by her father, I believe, and I could be wrong, just with the limited information that I have, I believe that had a lot to do with why Little Kim went on the slicing table. And I think that
Little Kim also went on the slicing table because she comes from an era where, you know, light was right. I mean, we still kind of live in that era now, but melanin rich people are more celebrated today than they were in the 90s and the 80s. Like, let's just keep it real, you know? And she said in an interview that she always was cheated on with the men that she loved cheated on her with more ambiguous, Latina presenting, or just all around lighter complected women with keener, straighter, sharper features. So she felt like in order to compete, she had to jump in that arena. She also said that she was physically, you know, abused, and she had to get her nose reconstructed a couple times because somebody socked her in it. I feel like, honestly, it's a combination of all of those things. And I think too, like Faith and Biggie, like that kind of like threw her, that really hurt her. because she loved Biggie. And the fact that he felt like she was not good enough to claim, she was just like a side hoe, like a jump off. Yet he married Faith, and she internalized that.
It has a lot to do with why a lot of Black women go on the slicing table, being rejected by men, mistreated by men, abandoned by their parents, are ridiculed for their physical appearance. Michael Jackson.
Let's add a little polish.
It's a good example. Michael Jackson is the best male example of surgery being performed on your external self for problems going on in the internal self. Michael Jackson was robbed of his childhood. Michael Jackson was physically abused by his father. Michael Jackson often spoke of how his peers would talk about his big nose. Michael Jackson was traumatized by his own people.
He was. Michael Jackson hated having Negro teachers. And once again, he came up in a society, like Michael Jackson lived through Jim Crow. Like, I think you got to really think about that, where it's rooted in. It's rooted in being closer to whiteness and having Eurocentric features as being better. Featureism, texturism, colorism, we're plagued by that in our community. And this is why some of what got her nose done, to look a little more European. You know, like, this is why people are so bothered by my half of wigs, because when it gets older, I actually comb it out so it can look more kinky and Afro-like. People are bothered by that because they are obsessed with texturism. It's not even about looking unkempt or whatever, however you want to put it. People can make up all the excuses in the world. If I came up here with a complete Afro wig, which I have and I've used, y'all see my profile picture, there's also people saying things about the texture of that. When I have my natural hair and I go out naturally, I had someone tell me, oh, it's your hair that throws people off. And I'm like, what are you talking about? This is how my hair grows out of my head. And I have pretty hair. It's like a natural, wave kink curl. Like, we cute. But it's texturism. It's deep rooted and deep seated in our culture. And it just is what it is.
For how he looked. And as a result of that, he desecrated himself physically. It's the same thing Black women are doing. Someone made them feel insecure and unvalued as who they were. And so they're now seeking to reinvent themselves artificially on the surgeon's table. And it's a very dangerous thing to do.
And we spoke about the physical, we have the psychological. And the last thing people listening need to know about is the financial burden. A lot of these surgeries are done through credit. Credit.
I wasn't aware that so many surgeries are done through credit, but I tell you something I experienced recently. I was in the airport in the Dominican Republic coming back.
Wait, Glorilla got her nose done? She did? Because she really was heavily against it. She always said, like, I'm not doing that. I like my nose. I like my body. Like, she kind of always celebrated her natural state. She got her nose done? I got to look into that.
Back from Guadeloupe. And I didn't get a chance to venture out into the community. It was only the airport, but I had like a 4-hour layover. And every woman who passed me was voluptuous. It took me a minute to catch on. But I'm like, every woman is super. I mean, the best bodies you ever see in your life. And then it just hit me. And I text one of my female associates and I said, where do most surgery get done? And she mentioned the Dominican Republic as one of the top destinations for the surgery, because it didn't hit me at first. I said, wait a minute, all these women are just super, the Dominican Republic, they're just born like this? Then I said, wait a minute, this might be a surgery place. And that's when I found out that it was, but.
Yep, that part. So speaking of, the plastics, let's head on over to these Instagram streets. Shouts out to Juicy_Whitney, fair use. So this is a picture of a couple days ago where Summer, Sexy Red, and Sukihana was turning up. And it's just, I'm not mad. Like, have fun, do your thing. But we need some balance, y'all. Like, I don't want us to always just be out here coochie popping on a handstand all the time. Like, and what's odd to me is that I seen another picture. I don't know if I have it in the queue. I seen another picture with Saucy Santana hands all on Summer's vagina. And I'm like, this is still a man at the end of the day. It was just so inappropriate to me. Like, men that are part of the community, they just get away with doing things that if he was like identifying as straight, we would not be here for any of it at all. Like, why he had his hands on her coochie like that? I just didn't like all of that. I was like, what is happening? What is it giving? What is it giving? And, you know, it's funny because now everybody wants to be different. Or, I mean, like, everybody's starting to look exactly the same. You know, like, I think the beauty in being human, having this human experience, is having your own carbon footprint, presenting different, you know, like, just being different. Like, we all have our quirks, you know. I'm curvy, but I have, like, hip dips. You know, like, I like that. I have a little bit of cellulite. I got stretch marks. Like, we in a building. And I feel like this is what makes me me. Like, it gives my body character. But when everybody starts to look exactly the same, that becomes boring. Now this is mundane. It's not even, like, popping like that no more. And that's why celebrities are opting out and then reverting back to what they used to look like. For real. Now, look at this. This is her again on stage. I can't play the music because, you know. But shout out to Spiritual Warfare, y'all. And then people were saying, oh, she say she got social anxiety. This ain't social anxiety. That's not what social anxiety look like. So let's dive into what social anxiety is. Because I have social anxiety. So social anxiety, you know, is emotional and behavioral symptoms that include worrying about embarrassing or humiliating yourself, intense fear of interacting with or talking to strangers, fear others will notice that you look anxious, fear of physical symptoms that may cause you embarrassment, such as blushing, sweating, trembling, or a heavy, shaky voice. What triggers it? It can be linked to a history of abuse, bullying, or teasing. I've experienced all of that. Shy kids are also more likely to become socially anxious adults, as are children with overbearing or controlling parents. If you develop a health condition that draws attention to your appearance or voice, this could trigger social anxiety too. So everybody's saying, oh damn, I didn't mean to click over that. Oh, she don't got social anxiety. Y'all don't know what social anxiety means. Social anxiety does not present the same from person to person. And I could attest to the fact of over drinking, overindulging in alcohol so that I could feel comfortable in social settings. And this is my own personal experience, you know? And because I've always been ostracized, I've always had a light shown on me. I felt like I had to act in certain ways. I couldn't really be myself. My family would, like, literally stand me in the middle of the room and just fucking criticize me to no end. Like, seriously, I was teased and bullied. I used to have a gap in my teeth. So people would always talk about my teeth. My teachers used to, like, tease me in class. Like, I remember I had a teacher. His name was Mr. Baldy. I was in the 6th grade, and he used to tease all of us. He was kind of like a bully. It was a white man. His name was Mr. Baldy. He used to be like, oh, you could kick a field goal through your teeth. Like, he would talk about our sizes. He would call the pudgy kids fat. Like, it was terrible. I experienced that in school, in elementary school, from a teacher. And then y'all already know kids are relentless and mean. Like, it is what it is. So, you know, sir, oftentimes because I'm me, I choose to, like, live outside the box. I'm not cookie cutter. I don't really give a fuck. You know, like, I do my own thing. Because I'm not a sheeple, I've never really been a part of the herd. People don't like that. Hence, y'all can see people trying to chew me out on the internet. It's because I'm not like everybody else. And I'm just being myself. You get what I'm saying? I like to wear gaudy things. I like colors. I like prints. Like, I like to show off my body, I guess you could say. But it's also style. It's not just me just out here like Sexy Red with a padded bra on from Victoria's Secret just trying to show my boobs. Like, it don't give that. Like, it's also, you know, it's style. But when I'm drunk, oh, I'm turned the fuck up and turned out. I'm the life of the party. When I'm with people that I'm comfortable with, I have a great time. But if it's just me and you see me and I'm by myself, like, I could work myself up to being how I am, but it takes some time. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, alcohol has helped me in social settings. Like, and that's not necessarily okay. It's not a bad thing or a good thing because I'm not an alcoholic, but I have overindulged to feel comfortable in social settings. So what I feel like we're looking at is Summer Walker being drunk. She's under the influence, and she's around people that makes her feel comfortable. And also, a lot of artists could get on stage. Like I would feel more comfortable being on stage in front of hundreds of people or thousands of people versus being in a room with 10 people that's up in my face talking to me, asking me questions. And you know what I mean? Like, it sounds weird, but it's different when you're in an intimate setting versus people in a crowd. I'm more comfortable on stage. I'm more comfortable doing this with 100 of y'all watching me right now versus if I was in a room with y'all, we was all talking, I would probably be like, I mean, you know, you gotta work yourself up to be cool. I had to build myself up to be like this. I'm naturally like this around family and close friends, but around people that don't know me, no. So if y'all do see me out, I might have a cocktail. I might be like, hey, and then you might see me retreat a little bit. Like my social battery in my meter, it goes up and down when I'm out. Like I'll go off in a corner and be like, oh, you know, and then I'll come back when I feel like I'm recharged. And alcohol helps that. It just is what it is. And Summer Walker drunk. She's drunk the fuck out. So I don't know why everybody acting like they don't know what the deal is. So this is her again. And she's also going through a breakup, y'all. She's trying to get over Meech. Her body looks so weird. It looks so weird. Now, this really looks like a wisdom tooth. Like, I know how people be putting a wisdom tooth emoji. This is really giving wisdom tooth. It really is. And then Meech is out here again with another woman and his stories. But the thing is, he's only 23. Like, what do y'all expect from a 23-year-old? Shouts out to the Shade Room, fair use. Look. And then Summer had tweeted like, oh, bitch number 5 or whatever. And then she put this like, I just miss my dad. I just miss my granny. And she said, go see the lady and heal that childhood trauma. And then this is him, you know, tweeting, putting out that, you know, he had a conversation with his father. He wants his dad to be out of jail. So she's trying to heal. She outside trying to have a hot girl summer, no pun intended, because she's hurt. She's hurt. She has a strings of failed relationships, and she keeps doing it publicly. I just hope that she tries something different, and I hope she leaves her face and body alone because we really don't need a cat lady 3.0. Like, Summer Walker, you're beautiful. You've been beautiful. We love you. You're super talented. You're special. You have something that is lovely that you bring to the world. And just continue to love yourself. Heal, baby girl. Heal. Whatever it is inside, heal before you link and merge with another man that's going to just embarrass you. Because I always tell y'all, one thing a nigga going to do is embarrass you. That is it. That is all. I love y'all. Spread love. This is the Brooklyn way. I will be back. We have more to talk about. I literally will be back probably within an hour. I'm going to grab some food. Y'all know I intermittent fast. I haven't had any food. I did have a juice, which was watermelon, blueberry, chia seeds, and sea moss with soursop juice. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's so good. Y'all have to try it. Even if you just like juice watermelons, like do it. And berries. Berries. It's really good for yourselves. All right. I will see you guys soon. I love y'all so much. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. I'll be back. Make sure your notification bells are clicked.